Okay, NASCAR has definitely had its weird moments, but I've tried my best to come up with the absolute strangest moments in NASCAR history. We've been looking at a lot of dark stuff on this channel in the last few months, so hopefully this one is a little more refreshing. Anyways, let's get straight into it. During Todd Zegedy's qualifying run for a 2004 Chicagoland race, there was a bizarre situation in which he almost hit a giant inflatable orange. The 30-foot wide orange was blown away from its initial promotion spot as a result of high winds, and even hit a safety truck that was trying to block it. During the 2004 Advanced Auto Parts 500, some of the racing surface came up during a green flag run and created a hole. Running second place and leading the most laps up to this point, Jeff Gordon hit the hole and it destroyed the right front of his car. He was understandably frustrated as it ruined his chances of winning the race. Despite this, he rallied back to finish inside of the top 10. The final laps of the 2002 Daytona 500 were quite interesting. After a big one on a late race restart, Sterling Marlin and Jeff Gordon made contact that sent Gordon spinning to the inside of the front stretch and left Sterling with damage. The red flag was displayed and the cars were stopped on the backstretch. Then Sterling Marlin did this.
Wondering how that right front damage looks. Sterling Marlin is jumping out of his car. He's going around to look at the right front fender. But, he can't do that.
You can't work on your car under the red flag. That's the NASCAR rule.
Pull it off a little bit.
You're not allowed to work on your car under the red flag.
By NASCAR rule, you cannot as much as even touch your race car under the red flag, and was sent back to the field for the final restart. With 24 laps to go, Derek Cope had enough and hit the self-destruct button. This was actually a result of a tire failure. The smoke that you see is actually brake dust, and there was no fire at all. Most of the time that there is a flat tire, the cars are carrying a lot of speed and it results in a slow degradation of the tire. However, there was no speed or airflow and it created a wild result. After a fan threw a shoe on the track, race leader Danica Patrick hit it and ran over it. She slowly started to lose speed as parts underneath of the car began breaking and falling out, and she had to bring her car to the garage for repairs. It must be said, it was a heartbreaking moment for an amazing performance. During a red flag at the 2007 Watkins Glen race, a fan ran onto the track up to Matt Kenseth's car to get his autograph. Kenseth, not knowing what to do, signed the man's hat and gave it back. The man was arrested and charged with reckless endangerment and criminal trespassing. According to NASCAR Man on Twitter, 27 fans were arrested that weekend at Watkins Glen, including everything from public urination to stealing banners. During a race at the Richmond Fairgrounds, Dale Earnhardt's windshield was caked with mud. Under caution and not wanting to lose track position, he climbed completely out of his car to wipe it off. Carl Edwards did a more legal version of this during a rain-filled Montreal race in 2009. Speaking of Earnhardt, in the 1997 Daytona 500, he flipped with just a handful of laps to go. He got in the ambulance and the race went to commercial break. When the race got back from the break, he was in his car on pit road instructing the crew on how to fix the thing. He completed 5 more laps in the race after he flipped.
Rear fender on is barely hanging on. They're taping the hood on. The roll cage has been sandpaper. NASCAR apparently has declared he must have a spoiler, so they're going to now try to get the back deck on the car. There's nothing mechanical holding it on. They're going to have to tape it on. This thing is so beat up. If Earnhardt can make 1 lap or 2, it's an absolute miracle.
With just 3 laps to go in the 2014 Spring Bristol race, a caution flag came out for seemingly no reason. According to NASCAR, someone in the flag stand leaned on the manual override for the caution lights and they turned on. It was complete human error. The race was then officially put under caution and then rain downpoured on the track before the race could ever get restarted.
The fans waited
Good job, buddy. Good job,
2 hours this afternoon, over 3 hours tonight. Enough. Mother Nature wins, and so does Carl Edwards.
So you could throw the entire 2012 Daytona 500 red flag sequence here. With just over 40 laps to go in the race, David Stremme had a spin. Under caution while trying to catch up to the field, something broke in Juan Pablo Montoya's car and it went ablaze in a nasty collision with a jet dryer. Under the red flag, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Brad Keselowski raced to a Porta potty, in which Jr. won. Keselowski made headlines for other reasons too, as he posted this picture on Twitter. This, for better or for worse, introduced NASCAR into the world of Twitter. This also led to NASCAR strengthening its stance on cell phones not being allowed in the race car. Later in the season, Keselowski would be fined for tweeting during a red flag at Phoenix. In 2018, the spring Martinsville race was snowed out and postponed to Monday. This alone is an oddity, but hardly compares to Atlanta 25 years earlier when the quote storm of the century breezed through. Wind and snow cost more than $300,000 in damages to the track, and trees were blown over across the facility, blocking roads. The race would be postponed 6 days until they could finally get it in. A late race incident in the 2006 Carfax 250 saw Dale Jr. getting into the back of Carl Edwards and turning him. The strange part is in victory lane and all throughout the post-race when fans booed the most popular driver in Dale Earnhardt Jr. You see a lot of times in NASCAR when a driver is in the wrong, they are still supported by their fans, but not this time. Also, it's bizarre because you can chalk this up as a racing incident. The announcers even said Edwards got loose and Jr. had a great run and just hit him at the wrong time. So for this reason, it was especially weird to see the fans turn against him. On lap 331 of the fall Richmond race in 2014, a fan climbed onto the fence during green flag conditions.
It is apparently something happening that requires security help down in turn 4 on the spectator side of the fence. That would put said person in danger should something happen on the racetrack right there. I don't want to give it any more publicity than that. Let's just say it's somebody doing something stupid that's brought out the caution in the race.
During pre-race ceremonies, a parachuter with a flag hit Kevin Harvick's car. Not only did the flag hit the car, but the sandbag that weighs down the flag too. It was damaged to the point where they had to take it back to the garage before the race and repair it before taking the green flag. While under the pace laps before the start of the 2002 EA Sports 500, Mark Martin's steering locked up and he hit Jimmy Johnson. The pair were not only on the front row, they were also first and second in points at the time. It would be Jimmy Johnson and teammate Jeff Gordon that would lead the field to green.
That wasn't it, buddy. It was mechanically bound. It was locked. It wasn't a fender.
What in the world? I have no idea.
He's talking like the way he's talking to Ben Leslie is all of a sudden it just locked up. He was turning it left and it would not turn back to the right. It just locked up.
Anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you did. If you guys have any other weird moments, make sure you let me know down in the comments below and I might make a part 2, or if you got suggestions for anything you want me to cover in a future video. Anyways guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.